I didn't watch it because I don't have DAZN. Actually, my neighbor had asked me to come over, but what's up, brother? I didn't get a chance to watch it. I wanted to watch it, but I fell asleep.
My mom fell asleep too.
I fell asleep. I was tired. I was on the West Coast, but I was tired. But I followed everything that was going on. You just don't do the fans like that. You know, you don't put the interest, the network interest before the fans. We've always done things the opposite way. You know, Steven is always big on, let's try to get it to the fans earlier as possible, having earlier start times.
Right.
You know, and so we would put our heads together and try to come up with a better way to, you know, because again, you know, a large part of your audience is on the other side, and you know you have to take all those things into consideration. But when your interests are in other places and you don't really give a shit about the fighters, and that's what you come up with.
Is there any chance in the world that somebody would have made Floyd wait an hour before he came?
It would have never happened. And I tweeted that out. That would never, ever happen. We don't wait for anybody to do anything.
Right.
You know, Floyd he was the driving force behind the pay-per-views for years on top of years anyway. So, you know, we dictated everything that was going on, and we always have had a great working relationship with Showtime, and you know, but you just don't do the fans like that. You just don't do it. But again, hey, it's not for me to worry about. It wasn't our show. It's just you asking me my opinion. I'm just being honest.
Now, see, it wasn't your show, but your show kind of spilled into their show. Chris Mannix reporting an incident between Broner and Gervonta.
Bullshit.
What are your thoughts on that? Where is he getting that from? And,
I have no idea.
And why is he standing so firm on that? If
I could care less.
I know how these events work because there's always a camera. Broner and Gervonta are around. There's always a camera on them. So I would imagine that somebody would have picked that up. There's no footage.
I don't know where he got it from. Don't really care. I mean,
nothing else to say on that. Now, as far as the fight goes in ATL, you said a lot of guys are coming out there, a lot of different celebrities, rappers. I'm a little bit older, so Migos and them don't interest me as much, but you mentioned Nas, Raekwon, guys like that. What's the atmosphere going to be like in Atlanta come fight week?
It's going to be a movie. That is going to be the atmosphere. That's going to be the atmosphere, you know, because Atlanta is Black Hollywood. You know, they haven't had a big event there in a number of years, and they're the people, the great people of all the surrounding cities, are always looking for a reason to come out and support something big, to get fly. The women want to be able to go out and get the flyest outfits. The players and the hustlers want to be able to do the same thing. You got the actresses and the actors and the rappers and the ball players. You're gonna see a little bit of everything.
Now we've got Tank. He was going back and forth with Josh Taylor, going back and forth with Devin Haney. He's Devin Haney's mandatory at this point. How far are we away from seeing Gervonta and
Tank ain't nobody's mandatory? So let's clear that up right now. Tank ain't nobody's mandatory. We dictate the terms on any and everything we're doing.
Right.
Any and everything.
How far away
speaking,
are we?
He is though. He's number
Tank
one.
is nobody's mandatory.
How far are we from seeing him in a fight?
Tank is the boss. Tank is the boss of 26. When I say 26, meaning guys want to move up from 26 to get a shot. 30, 35, and 40. So you got 4 divisions. Everybody's calling my guy out.
But until he wins that WBA regular title, he's still the WBC
Tank is the
mandatory.
man, because guess what? You know why he's the man? Just what I just said. He is the only person that's out there in those 4 different weight classes that represents the biggest payday for every one of those guys.
How far are we from seeing
class.
one of those fights happen? I mean, we've got Gamboa.
Tank is fighting December 28th. I know what he's doing the next 3 fights, but you guys just gotta wait and see.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Leonard.
I mean, you know that the reason we ask is because you got your fighter on social media saying certain things, but then the career isn't really going in that trajectory. You know, he's calling out Josh Taylor. That's like a whole division above, a unified champ. That didn't happen.
What did happen?
The Josh Taylor.
The conversation just started about that the other
Absolutely,
day.
completely new. But
Yeah.
Tevin Farmer isn't though. They offered him $7 million to fight Tevin Farmer.
They who?
Eddie Hearn.
He ain't that. That's bullshit. That's
So
bullshit.
okay, so he was
That's bullshit.
faking it.
Yeah, that's
He
bullshit.
never sent no terms.
First off, you can't make me an offer. You can't make me a B side. Can't make it A side. You can't offer me shit. And when I say me, meaning
No, I
Mayweather
understand
promotion.
completely what you mean.
It don't work like that. It don't work like that.
But isn't that how you get negotiations started?
No, it's not how you. All that's a front for you guys.
Oh, it's okay.
It's for you guys to get to talking, and he knows better than that. It don't go like that. Again, I'll give you an example. Do you think that same offer was made to Lomachenko?
The $7 million, you mean?
No, not a number. But do you think that same offer was made to Lomachenko for?
For
Tevin?
Eddie to get Lomachenko over to the fight
No,
with
no,
Campbell?
no. Yes.
I mean, obviously, the offer was made because the deal was struck. He fought him.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about for do you?
Tevin to fight. You mean Devin Haney to fight Vasil Lomachenko? An offer for that?
The bottom line, because I don't want to confuse what I'm saying, is
Okay.
that the B side can offer the A side shit in anything. In anything. And my point with what I was trying to make, do you think that Lomachenko was made an offer to come fight on that whatever you want to call it?
The zone?
Yes.
He was made an offer.
Okay, and what did Aram say?
Wait, that fight took place on ESPN?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know if an offer was made because you got to remember.
No.
Check this out, though. You got to remember, Ramirez fought on the zone maybe the 2 weeks before, so he probably did a
Who?
deal. Jose Ramirez.
Outstanding young fighter. There's a big difference between Ramirez and their top guy.
Absolutely. I mean, and I get what you're saying. Vasil is top-ranked franchise fighter,
Yes.
so he would be fighting on their network to build their streams and subscribers. I get
Correct.
it.
Correct.
It would be more difficult to get that type of a fighter on the zone. But
It would never happen.
I mean,
And Aram has said that.
if the offer was as
No.
big as a $7 million
It don't
offer,
work
but
like
equivalent,
it don't work like that.
because the contracts to the
Game
network.
don't work like that. My fighter's not going on into a situation where nobody's watching. We're building a star. Okay. We don't go backwards. We move forward.
Do you feel that what happened this weekend is further proof that maybe streaming is not the way to go and that pay-per-view is still the model that's...
I'm not here to knock any streaming service or whatever they're doing. I just only can speak about my fighters. You know what I'm saying?
Would Floyd have ever allowed UFC to make him wait before he comes out and fights?
I think
Without
you know the
getting
answer to
paid.
that.
I want to hear
I think-
Leonard Ellerbe tell us. So
I
I
think-
got a
I-
headline that said Floyd would have never done that.
I tweeted it. I tweeted it out. And it's not about the UFC or, Floyd is Floyd. We would never. We wouldn't wait on nobody.
What is the difference you think in bringing up Gervonta Davis and bringing up Floyd? What was because you were there from the beginning. You were in the corner
What you
before
mean,
you were the CEO. Bringing him up, like the fights that he's given, bringing his career to this status. What are the differences you see in those two's careers?
Well, there's a big difference because there's two different types of fighters. You guys haven't seen the best of Gervonta yet. You guys have seen the best of Floyd. He's retired. He had a wonderful, wonderful career. The best is yet to come from Gervonta.
How many fights is Tank trying to have in 2020?
Next year,
Yeah.
he's going to be fighting. He's going to be active.
Will
He
there
says
be...
3. He says Al Heyman told him if he stays out of trouble, he got 3 fights next year.
It's a fact.
In the lightweight division, it was close to being unified before everything took place. Do you think Tank will go on a mission to try to unify the lightweight division, being that he is up there at the top already?
We're going to fight the biggest and best fights that are out there. If unification is there, we're going to fight the best fighters that are there.
So this is just testing the water.
It's not about testing the waters. We're fighting fights. Big events.
If
But
the-
he's fighting for the secondary title. The true WBA champ is Vasil Lomachenko, and he's available
He's available for who?
for negotiations. I'm assuming
Okay.
he ain't got no fight.
Again, if he's in the way, he's a terrific fighter. It'll be a big fight.
If
down
the
road.
WBC offered one of your guys a franchise championship tag, would you accept that?
I don't want to get into any of the politics of what Suleiman is doing, as it relates to the belts, and we have a wonderful relationship, and we haven't crossed that path.
Will any of your fighters ever fight on the zone? Because
Gervonta Davis won't be fighting on the zone. I can't say anybody else, because you never know.
Yeah,
it might be a situation where it might make sense.
Any
You just never know.
Sorry, any truth that there was only a $2 million offer for Tevin Farmer to fight on Showtime?
Only a $2 million offer?
I'm just saying, an equivalent to a $7 million offer for Tank. Yeah, only is probably the right word.
Well, you're talking about apples and oranges. You're talking about somebody just talking, to be seen and to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, you can't make an offer to a fighter that you don't have. Okay? And you're the B-side to anything. You're just talking.
Does $7 million sound lucrative to you for a Tank fight versus Tevin?
Gervonta Davis is not fighting on a
Streaming service.
there you go.
But does
Okay.
the number 7 sound? Did that sound okay? Is that in the Tank?
Gervonta Davis makes a lot of money. He makes a lot of money.
So you don't think the Tevin fight is a fight that Gervonta should have on his resume? It's been built up amongst the fans already.
If I didn't think that, I
video.
wouldn't have made him an offer. If I didn't think that, I wouldn't have made him an offer.
You tweeted that the boat sailed. Has that sailed forever, or is there a chance that boat comes
No,
back
I'm not
around?
saying it sailed at that moment, at that particular moment. I spoke to his promoter and made him a very, very lucrative offer. And they came back and said no, and it's okay. It's okay. They had other plans, and it's okay. I'm not mad at him. He thinks his value is much more than what the offer is, and hey, he's a grown man, and he's in charge of his own career, and he made a responsible decision based upon the offer, and it's okay.
Now
We just moved on.
Now that Devin Haney is raised up to the WBC super, right? Is it potentially, a clash that will happen between him and Gervonta Davis, since he is a primary player now?
I can't say what is going to happen down the road, because our focus is Gamboa. If he or anybody else is in the way, it is what it is. I'm very, 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 very confident that Gervonta Davis can beat anyone at that weight. Any name, you can mix and match any of the names. I'm very confident he can beat them all.
But that has to be a fight that even you are excited about, being as though you guys wanted to sign
Man,
Devin Haney.
these guys don't get me excited. They don't.
But you guys wanted to sign Devin.
And he's a terrific fighter. And I'm not talking about him specific. I'm talking about we have a plan. We have a plan for Gervonta Davis. Okay? And our plan is what our plan is. If any of the guys you're talking about are in the way, they're in the way. Point blank.
So there's potential to see that. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think Gervonta could compete at 140?
We're focused right now on December 28th. That came out of nowhere, and it is what it is.
So
Did
I'm
you see
guessing
vulnerabilities in Josh Taylor after watching the
He's a
video?
terrific fighter. He's a terrific fighter.
No vulnerabilities? You didn't see any when he fought
No,
Regis?
all fighters have vulnerabilities. There's not one of them out there that doesn't. Every fighter.
Is AB officially retired, or will he fight next year?
You gotta ask AB that.
What do you make of Wilder versus Ortiz too? How do you see that going down? Break that fight down for us.
Oh, it's a great fight. Actually I was thinking on the plane down here, I was actually looking at some video clips. That is a dangerous fight. A very, very dangerous fight. That's why you gotta respect Deontay for stepping up and saying, give me that again. Give me that again. We all know that Ortiz has been a much avoided fighter over the years, justifiably so. I mean, the first fight, it was a very tough fight. I think Deontay saw some things in that fight that he wants to be able to go back and capitalize on. And again, that's what you got to admire about Deontay. He's willing to take on the tough challenges that most guys won't take on. And that's why I admire him. He wants all the smoke. He wants each and every one of the heavyweights out there, and to prove that he's he's the top dog, and you gotta respect that. You gotta respect that.
Deontay's going on his 10th defense. So he clears, just say he clears out King Kong Ortiz. Are we any closer to seeing that unification with whoever the winner is between Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz?
Well,
Do you think they'd
if he can get by Ortiz, obviously we know what's up next.
Okay.
With the Fury rematch, and that's a huge fight. If he can get past Ortiz on the 23rd, that's a huge fight.
He's over there jumping off over the WWE. You think he's going to be focused to get back in there with the bronze moment?
Of course he is. I think that if it comes about, if the fight comes about, I think it's probably like a 5-round fight.
Okay.
I think Deontay stops him within 5 rounds.
Still set for February?
Yes.
You promoting that fight, Mayweather Promotions?
Yes, we will be involved in that.
Y'all going to bring it down to the ATL, my backyard? That'd be huge for us to have that fight down there.
You know what big pay-per-view fights end up.
Exactly. Exactly.
In 3 different markets.
Yeah, I'm just trying to throw the ATL in the lottery.
And guess what? December 28th, that place is going to be rocking.
Oh, yeah.
Break down for us the Ruiz versus Joshua 2 fight. What do you think will go down in that fight?
I think Ruiz kicks his ass. Again. I think Joshua's he's a very good fighter, but I just think Ruiz is better. I think he has his number. Style-wise, he's tailor-made for getting it done. There were certain things that I saw when I went back and watched the fight, because I didn't watch it live. That I saw that.
So you have the zone.
No, actually, I don't.
You borrowed somebody's login?
No,
His
no.
neighbor.
I actually went over my guy's house. Yeah, went over my guy's house, and I've actually watched 2 of the fights over there.
So, ever been to Saudi Arabia?
Have I been? Yes, I've been.
Oh. So what could you tell us? So,
But
are
am
those
I
guys-
going? I'm not going to the.
Yeah, I know
to
you're
the
not
Ruiz
going to the
fight.
fight, but safe place. Obviously, you went. You were there with Floyd, I believe, right?
No, I went there on some business.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was your experience?
It was good. It was good.
So, no one should have anything. Everybody should be good and happy.
Yeah. Everything.
It's a
What do you
safe
think
haven.
about a fight of that magnitude going to Saudi Arabia? Do you feel like this is our version of Thriller Manila?
I have no problems with the fight taking place there. It's not my promotion, not my decision. I don't have nothing to do with it. If they feel as though that they can generate a lot of revenue there, it's not my choice or decision, and I don't have any problems with it.
But does it give it that Thriller Manila like feel because it's out of country so far, somewhere we didn't expect?
I think that kind of feeling is driven by the fighters. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to an area specific. Like we'll use Atlanta for an example. Atlanta is begging for a big event there, and then you just happen to have one of the biggest stars in the sport that's bringing that big event down there.
Yep.
And with those 2 combined, the city's gonna be on fire, and the timing couldn't be better. Right after Christmas and before New Year's. Oh my God.
So Tank posted something on social media showing that the tickets were tracking, like the whole top bowl's already sold out.
And that's what happens. That's what happens when you have star power. That's what happens when you have star power. You have
How long
some
tickets been on sale now?
since this morning.
Atlanta is a sponge to bring boxing down there now. We was waiting on a fight like this to come down there.
Yeah, and it's his second home too. He spends quite a bit of time there, and again, we have lots of relationships. And again, it's a big market. It's an untapped market, and we're just excited to bring a mega event down there.
When does Tank's training camp start?
Sorry, started.
Already started.
Is he going to do it
So the
in
mega
ATL?
comes from the fact that an event with a star, an A side like Tank hasn't been there. That's why you consider it a mega event, because Atlanta hasn't had an event, a boxing event in a long time.
Well, and the star power that Tank brings. You could take, no disrespect, you could take another fighter down there. What do you think the results are? I'll let you answer that question.
Depends who. I've been
Give me a name.
I mean, I've been wanting Deontay to fight there. He's also
Okay,
second home.
besides Deontay,
Terrence
Deontay.
Crawford.
There you go. Great example.
Terrence Crawford.
How do you think a Terrence Crawford fight would be in Atlanta?
They
Give me
don't
your
really have.
honest
They don't
opinion.
really have a connection with Terrence Crawford down there.
Okay.
They got more of a connection with Javante. I would say that.
I don't know, man. He does pretty well in his home state.
Who?
Terrence.
But that's far
That's
away
the,
from
that's the
Atlanta,
South, though.
That's
The
different.
South
No,
is
that's the
finicky.
Midwest. That's the Midwest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Nebraska.
but I mean,
he's a
I-
terrific
Omaha.
fight.
I think
Terrific
he'd be
fighter.
supported in Atlanta.
But no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying how would they receive? How would they receive the fight? Do you think that he could take a fight down there at State Farm Arena and sell it out?
I mean, quite possibly, yeah. He's a pound for pound fighter. He's won ESPYs.
Well,
he's
you're not gonna get me to disrespect him, and I'm not. I would never.
I'm not trying to get
No,
you,
no. I'm
bro.
just saying he's a terrific fighter. He's drawn very well in his hometown. But I'm saying that if you're comparing the two, that was the question. If you're comparing the two on what would be a bigger event, bigger fight, it's hands down it would be Javante.
Do you think that has more
So
to
wait,
do?
what-
do you think
what
it
is-
has more to do with Terrence Crawford, or more to do with the people that are in charge of promoting his fights?
No, and again, they are doing what they need to do to promote their fighter, and I have nothing to say bad about him and what they're doing. I'm not in their lane.
Well, it's not to say something bad, but I mean, he's a maybe once in a generation type talent.
Well, the question was that we were talking about giving an example of taking another fighter down to Atlanta. Okay, and the example, Crawford might be a bad example, I don't know. But I'm just saying that no one would have that kind of appeal going in there with the exception of maybe like a Deontay. He would be...
Bob seems to think Bud and Shakur would do well in Atlanta.
That's Bob's opinion. He might be right. Tell him to take a big fight down there. So that's how we'll find
That's
out.
true. That's true.
So what exactly do you use to quantify Javante Davis's star power? I'm hoping viewership, right? Because
Well, I'm not getting ready to sit there and tell you how we go about doing what we do, but I think his numbers speak for itself.
What's his Q rating?
which
you know?
numbers though?
I think his numbers speak for itself.
Because the Showtime number's been going down.
No Showtime.
Fours
number.
and sixes,
No,
Leonard.
no Showtime number has not been going down.
Google search.
Javante Davis is one of the biggest stars in the entire sport. Period, hands down. It's not even up for question. Any and everywhere we go, the man sells out venues. Whether it's the UK, whether it's the West Coast, the East Coast, and now we're going to go down south.
Yeah.
And he's the only fighter in the entire sport that's doing that.
So we're talking ticket sales.
That's part of being a star, right?
No, I'm
Okay.
trying to get some
Okay.
of these
It's part of being a star.
quantifications.
It's part of
Talking
being a
ticket
star.
sales and,
Yeah.
and,
Do a
and, and what
pay-per-view
else?
this year, 2020?
Oh, he's going to be a pay-per-view star starting in 2020.
Leonard, do you know how many weeks he's going to be able to do open workouts down in Atlanta? I know his whole training camp won't be down there, but do you know when he's going to be
He's
able
training in Baltimore.
Okay.
He's training in Baltimore.
So open workouts possibly leading up to the fight?
Week,
Possibly.
You know, because you got Tyler.
Possibly. Possibly.
Y'all reaching out to Tyler Perry down there, being he like boxing. I'm pretty sure he's going to be at the fight.
We're doing a number of things.
Okay.
Again. We have a great team, and we know what we're doing.
Okay.
We built the biggest star in the entire sport for a number of years, who also became the highest paid athlete in the entire world. I think we know what we're doing.
He don't ever get the itch seeing Canelo pick up another division to come out there and make one of the biggest fights ever. You don't think it'll do the largest numbers ever?
Nah, Floyd, you look at the numbers speak for itself.
Yeah.
Regardless, Floyd has done this with a number of fighters, but he's retired.
Okay.
Let that man live.
He like living in money though, bathing in it, everything.
And he has plenty of it.
Yeah.
But he does seem to tease the Pacquiao rematch every now and again, throw little things out there. So, I mean, we let him live, and then every now and again he riles us up again.
Well, Floyd's just being him, doing him.
But is there anything to that?
To what?
Pacquiao.
To him teasing that? So maybe every now and again he gets the feeling that maybe he wants to run that back, maybe pick up a $200 million check.
Look, if Floyd wanted to run that back, he'll let y'all know.
I don't know if he has or not.
Yeah, he would let you know. He'd come out and he would make an announcement and say, "This is what I'm doing. This is when I'm doing it. Tune in."
Do you know when Pacquiao's planning to fight again?
Yes, I do.
When is that?
In 2020.
Oh, come on.
Oh, 2020. Okay.
First half, second
Any
half.
Earl Spence updates?
Nothing.
He's fine, right?
Rumor is he's going to be showing up to this fight. Can you confirm?
Can't confirm anything.
What do you think of Richardson Hitchens' performance this past weekend?
Very, very impressed. He had the toughest guy from the matchup perspective on the card, and I thought he did very well. I knew what kind of fight it would be, and I wanted to bring out the guy to bring out the best in Richardson, and that's what it needs. When you're a young fighter, you need those kind of fights.
And is that usually, because I know you mentioned that you like to match your guys up tough, is that usually what people should expect at a Sam's Town card with prospects from Mayweather promotion, that they're going to be matched up tough and they're going to be in with real competition?
History will tell you that. You know, you're gonna win some and you're gonna lose some. There's not many perfect fighters out there. When I say that, meaning, you know.
What is your reaction to Canelo beating Kovalev by knockout?
I didn't watch it. I saw the clip.
But I mean, you know the result.
Yeah.
Though. You know the result, though.
Yeah, of course. It's a great win for him.
Oh,
For
but
Canelo?
that's so refreshing. There's few people in this gym that feel like the fight was fixed.
No, that
I
fight was
know.
not fixed. No.
So Kovalev just fell off.
He fell out.
Are fights still being fixed
knees.
in
I
2020?
can't. No.
Knees got weak.
I don't know anything about that word, or never been associated or affiliated with any that word. But no, I thought it was. He moved up 2 weight classes and he did what he needed to do.
The rise of Gervonta, will we see him back in Baltimore anytime soon?
Yes,
you know,
you
for
will.
another homecoming?
Yes, you will.
Versus Tevin Farmer, that's the biggest fight to make in that area.
Any fight that Gervonta in is the biggest fight.
I mean, he said on the Breakfast Club, if they ever make that fight in his area, you know, he said it's better not to make it in the area because of the in-house Gervonta on the Breakfast
He
Club.
said what now?
It's better not to make that fight between Tevin and himself in his area and put it like in Vegas, just so that there's no fights in the audience. Because he says like it's inner city rival, you know what I mean? Baltimore, Philadelphia.
Yeah, but you have that. You're gonna have that anyway. You're gonna have that anyway. Tevin's a very good fighter.
Yeah, Charlemagne seems to be pumping that fight out a lot. I personally think Gervonta wins that fight easy. That's why I thought it was like
Me too.
easy money to pick up.
Me too.
What about Dylan Price? Dylan Price,
I just talked to him on the phone to ride down.
very sharp young fighter.
Yeah, we
you
just
know.
got off the phone. We were just talking
Good
about
win.
next, huh?
He had a great win.
Yeah, no, D, that's my little guy.
Will we see him moving up on some of the, undercards of the bigger
Of
fighters?
course. He only has 10 fights.
All right.
You know, and again, you know, everything happens in time. Everybody can't be world champion tomorrow or next month. You know, it's a process, and we know what we're doing, and we'll get to where we need to get to. Just takes time. That's all.
How many
His
fights
last
will be?
fight, this last fight for Dylan was at 115. Did you have anything to do with that? Because the one before that was 118.
Yeah, no. They tell me where he's comfortable at fighting, and see now when you're on the rise, you're able to kind of play with the weight a little bit, and what weight him and his dad are most comfortable with, we'll settle into that weight. But he's a terrific young fighter, and very, very excited for what lies ahead.
He just seemed more powerful at 115. I was in Vegas over the weekend, did an interview with him, and he said, his last fight, his opponent came in overweight, so he had a little bit of difficulty with him, and he feels a lot better at 15.
Yeah, he's very strong. Very strong.
He's somewhat of an anomaly down there. We don't have too many American fighters at that weight. So, do he plan on campaigning at 115, or he just going to go to bantamweight?
Well, again, when we cross that road, we'll make that decision. Right now, he's coming up through the ranks, and we're taking our time and doing it the right way. And again, he's a terrific talent. And I expect him to be world champion.
So
Who's the
a guy
fighter?
like Malik Hawkins, does he need a few fights on TV, let the world know who he is before he challenges for a world title? Because obviously being in Vegas over
It's
the
not
weekend-
about fighting on TV. It's about building your career. Because some of the best fights that are made on dark shows, it's about making the most out of the opportunities that are presented in front of you. It's not about fighting on TV. You see a lot of the young fighters get caught up in that part of it, and it's like when you're with the right company, the right promotional team, it's gonna move your career the right way. That's what it's all about.
The reason I ask, because you, being as though Mayweather Close just signed Malik Hawkins, obviously I interviewed Calvin Ford over the week, and he believes Hawkins is ready right now. He says if they can get Taylor right now, we would beat Taylor right now. He's willing to bet his right arm.
Fight who?
Malik Hawkins is 140, Josh Taylor is 140. Calvin Ford trains with St.
Oh, you said Malik Hawkins. I'm thinking you're talking about Malik Warren.
No. Warren is a new Calvin
Yeah,
Ford
yeah, that's
fighter.
who just fought this weekend. That's who I thought you were.
Yeah, no, I mean the other one with the blonde hair you guys signed him
Yes,
too, though.
yes.
He's 10 and maybe 14 and around 10 and 14 knockouts.
Yes.
I know he has. But they seem to think he's ready right now. Himself, his trainer, and obviously Calvin has shown us he has an eye for talent.
Yes.
So I just want to know where you assess Malik and
We're
how
all,
ready you think he is.
We are all on the same page. We're all on the same page, and again, we're going to take our time, fight by fight, and make the best fights out there for him.